Hi, this is Deborah Atkinson of the Flipping 50 TV show and the Flipping 50 podcast. And every once in a while I see something really creative in the gym, and sometimes I'll think, okay, well, I wouldn't do that, but maybe that's just open to artistic interpretation and they needed some variety. So it's a creative way to do an exercise. But when I see something happening that is probably a little bit of a waste of time, not the most advantageous way to get the results that they probably wanted doing that exercise, or I see something that could cause injury before it causes a benefit, that's when I feel like I need to speak up. So I want to mention this one, using the ball as a bench and doing a ball dumbbell chest press. So first things first, I would have you roll down so that your knees are right over your heels are heavy, your toes are light, your hips are up, and you have a ball that lets you be a little bit higher at your shoulders than at your hips or your knees, and that's okay. Being level is fine, but this will be more comfortable to get on and off of if you have any knee trouble. So first of all, my head is resting on the ball, and I want you to notice that. This kind of strain is not necessary on the neck in order to get the work through the working muscles. In fact, it may mean that you can't lift as heavy and therefore not get as much result out of the chest muscles and the triceps and the back of the upper arm that you want. So find yourself a position so your head is resting and your neck is not straining at all. Women carry the weight of the world on their shoulders and upper back. So neck and headaches, that kind of tension, we can prevent by resting the head on the ball. Next up, you want to make sure you keep your hips lifted. Don't let them come down unless you're doing something that you want to be lifting up and down. This is where you should be. No drifting. Engage the core and engage the glutes. As long as you're here, you may as well. But it's also just better alignment overall. And then you want to take your weights. And you are noticing here, this is never where you want to be between repetitions. Imagine you are on the floor and your arms can't go any lower than this where your back is resting. This is your stop point, not this. Even though you can, it puts a lot of pressure on the front of your shoulder. Call that the anterior deltoid, your acromion process here in your shoulder. That's not something you want to wide open with weight behind it. So we want to stop right here, even with the floor. And that gives you actually more work for the back of the upper arm, the triceps, and your biceps. Everything's working a little harder. So your weight's not out here to the side, but in at about 45-degree angles. So it's as if split your waistline and outside what I call goalposts at about 45 degrees, and then you're perfectly matched. When you bring the weights up, bring them together. So this is what I see. They're up here, they're not out to the side. Again, that's stressful for your shoulder. So inside to outside. Lift up and bring it in. And you can keep those arms a little bit tighter, but then think about all the details. Weight on your heels, hips up, shoulders in line with your hips and the knees. Your head is resting on the ball. You stop parallel to the floor, and all those details matter a great deal. So the next time you're doing a chest press and or you see something more creative going on in the gym, don't wonder which is right and which is wrong, or which is just an interpretation and which one will get you the most results. Now you know. Let me know if you have questions about other exercises you see some creative things going on for. Next, we'll tackle that.